Yeah, so we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the third installment of the Musetta Stone Book Club. This time we're going to be talking about Carl, I think it's Hiaasen, right?
I would
Basket
have said
Case,
hi.
or something like that. It's like
Yeah.
double A, so we're not really sure. But this is the cover. Look at that. It's so cool. It's such a nice cover. It's actually, it's
All the same.
yeah, it's an evolution of a different cover, and you guys will see it later. I'll be posting it as the main picture of the video.
Yeah.
But before we continue on, Karen, how have you been?
I've been all right. I've had a nice 2 months off, and I'm ready for school to be back.
Nice. Where are you gonna be?
No idea.
No
I
idea.
haven't gotten any calls. I don't have any contracts lined up. I applied, but that doesn't mean anything. So I'll probably be TOCing until there's something that pops up.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck. But you'll be back on the island soon.
Oh yes, yeah, I'll be back next week.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, right. School starts the week after, right?
Day after Labor Day.
Oh, holy crap.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
We have one more week.
It's in just under 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And all the
Amanda.
parents will be calling you now, Matt, and being like, "Hey, can we start piano lessons again?"
Actually, I did the cool thing and called them first.
Oh,
I left
nice.
messages and text
Nice.
messages and emails and stuff, so I've already done that. So hopefully
Yeah,
it'll be a lot more smooth than last time.
there you go.
Amanda, how have you been?
Yeah. Good. Just it was
Lesson
a
plans?
very, very, very fast summer, and yeah, just been in the past week or so, just been sitting down and working through my lesson plans for the year and getting ready and praying that there will be some form of bin to put chairs in. My principal bought my band new chairs, and they don't fit on our current chair rack, so I currently have 80 cushion chairs sitting on my music room floor.
Mm,
So, praying that those will be taken care of by the time we get back.
okay. Oh, are you going to watch Book of Mormon?
I am. I am so excited to go see Book of
When are
Mormon.
you doing that?
I am seeing it August 30th,
Okay, so
so
like,
next week.
yeah, okay. Let me know how it is. I'm so jealous.
It's a, it's supposed to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is so good. And this is a disclaimer, if you're easily offended, do not watch it or listen
Yeah.
to any music from it. It is fantastic. It's so funny.
It is. And lastly, I guess I'll update. I'm good. Actually, I've been fun employed for August, which has been interesting. And just like one thing led to another, and then I just wound up not teaching all of August, which is weird because it's never happened to me. But it turned out fine because I really needed that mental break. And it was nice to just be able to kind of just go for a walk and not have to deal with stuff. Like it just so happened that this year I had no kids doing August piano exams because they all wanted to do June, so then they didn't have to like practice through August, right?
Yeah.
So it just worked
Nice.
out. It was great. I was really scared at the very beginning of August because I was thinking I would go crazy from boredom, but it's okay. I've actually found time to do things that I normally wouldn't do. Like I picked up a video game. I haven't video games in a year, in 2 years maybe. Yeah, I've had time to do that. I'm doing biology 12 right now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's for a
Yeah.
prerequisite.
All the
Yeah,
textbook.
yeah, it's for Karen. It's for a prerequisite. I'm planning to apply to Camosun for the athletic and exercise therapy program.
oh wow.
Yeah, and I want to take that and I want to apply that to music and music related injuries during practice and performance. But I mean, let's talk about that later because
Okay.
we have other things to talk about. So
Yeah.
the book that we're talking
Yes.
about today is this one. This was my pick. It was Basket Case. And last time we had already read the back already. And yes, Amanda was right. I finally found something that was music and somewhat noir. It wasn't really noir, I don't think. Um, but it was really interesting. I think, I don't know. Why don't we start with Amanda first? We're going to go with impressions first, and then we'll go with, like, character and plot and whatever. But Amanda, why don't you take it away? Just tell us, like, overall impressions. How did you think about the book?
You know what? I found it to be it was true. It was a super quick read. It was actually quite nice to have something that you could read through and you could keep track of all the characters and keep track of what's happening because it wasn't overwhelming and it was great. There were definitely some parts where I just kind of like laughed out loud and just had to like put the book down and walk away from it and I come back. Um, and Other than that, I actually really enjoyed this book. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this book because I'm usually not a mystery, like crime solving kind of girl, but this was like pretty entertaining. I have to say, this was like super entertaining. I think I'm gonna, and this guy writes a lot of he writes children's books, so I was really, yeah, he has this series that I have in my library for kids, and it's the same guy because I looked it up, so it was funny to see that and then read it. So that was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Karen, what are your first impressions?
I echo pretty much what Amanda said. I felt like it was really nice to have. It was a really good summer read because I flew through it in 2 days. It was I just devoured it. There were funny parts. I think I remember at one point putting the book down and going, "Oh, he did not." I had to reread a few things, being like, "Wait, did I actually just read that?" It's a little quirky, a little bit kind of off kilter, which was really nice to have.
Yeah.
I did feel like this book was more about journalism than it was about music, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I actually watched. I don't know if you guys have heard of the movie Spotlight.
Yes.
For some reason, I kept connecting these two, though I really shouldn't have. But it was the whole journalism at that period in time, because this is like 2003, so it's around the early 2000s when journalism's kind of on a downward. So I kept linking the two, even though they don't really have anything to do with each other.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'll go last, and I agree with all of you guys. I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that it wasn't more music, although he dropped so many names and so many albums and so many songs, and I was just like, I had to like look it up constantly, and I was like, oh my god, like this guy knows. I mean, he must have done his research, or he's really into that genre of music. So I was reading it, and I was like, oh, okay, so like I was like when I read like the back, I was like, oh right, so like we're gonna have like this thing where like the music unravels the storyline. Not really. But I just like it was a nice read in the sense that I really believed that the main character really cared about that genre of music. And that was what's brought up to me, and I was like, oh, this is great. This guy Jack really likes this music, really likes this person, like knows it really well, and it's like it's brought up enough that you care that he cares, but not so much that you're just like, oh my god, just stop singing this song already. Yeah, but I totally agree. I read the first half of the book, like the first day I was at Amanda's, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop that.
Yeah.
Because that was like the 3rd of August, and I was like, so that's why I waited until like 2 days ago to read like this much.
Okay.
But it blew by so fast, and yeah, like I said, it was a nice, light, quick read. I agree with Karen. I wish it was a little bit more to do with music than it was to do with journalism, but I think it was just like a risk for this one.
Yeah.
I'm also interested because when I was reading a bunch of the non-spoiler kind of reviews on this book on Goodreads, a lot of people were saying that this book, compared to his other books, weren't as strong. So I'm curious to read his other books.
Interesting.
Because like, if this isn't strong, then I wonder what his strong books are.
Yeah.
I'll read one of his kid books and get back to
Okay, let me.
I'm not kidding. It was funny because you brought this in and you showed me this guy, and I'm like, a children's book, really? And because I only know him as the children's author. So he gave me this, and I'm like, oh, he swears in this book. Oh, okay, this isn't a children's book. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so you definitely have a completely different perspective then. Like, do you find that he's effective as both a children's writer and a writer for adults?
You know what? I actually haven't read anything from as a children's. I just know he has a not even a series. He just they're kind of linked generally by some setting or whatever. But he's popular. Like kids really like his books. They're books like Hoot and Flush and they're like super whimsical little like this kid flushed a baby alligator down a toilet and oh my gosh now he's full grown, and that's like the humor that he has with kids. So I didn't even realize that he wrote adult novels until he
Yeah,
brought it.
because it says here for young readers, Chomp, Scat, Flush, and Hoot.
Yeah, and I think I have all 4 of those in my library at school.
Yeah, and all of his fiction novels for adults are all 2 words. So like for us, it was Basket Case, but yeah, the other ones are like Bad Monkey, Star Island, Skinny Dip, Lucky You, like Stormy Weather,
Yeah.
Strip Tease, like yeah. So he has this like, I guess he has this like.
I heard Bad Monkey was one of his best.
Yeah, so I'm curious to read it. I actually bought that one. Actually, like that. Lucky that you mentioned it. Yeah, I actually bought that one. So I'm curious to see because I just went through all of his stuff and be like, okay, what's the highest rated book on Goodreads that people say? And I'm just gonna read that and see because like this one was like a 3.8, and I was like, oh okay. I mean, yeah, it was a 3.8. So for me, I was just like, oh man, I'm picking one under 4. That's like against the rules, right?
Is it? No.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right.
No, I think mine was pretty. I think mine was lower than 4, so don't worry.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just think remembering like some of my friends, maybe even you guys telling me how like if it's a 4, generally it's a pretty good book. Like if people
4 is in Goodreads, a 4 is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it means that people have bounced around between 4 and 5 and a few 3s. If you get like a 3.8, that means some people have rated it 5 and some people have rated it 3, so that's pretty good. Anything less than a 3.2 is usually not very good.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's really funny? Yeah, you know what's really funny? Maybe in the future, people who are watching this, like there was a lot of those romance books that I was looking that had over 4 ratings of over 4, and it wasn't just like like 2 people. It was like 30,000 people rated it like 4.04 or something like that. And I was like, whoa, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be great.
Yeah, but how many of them are like 19-year-old females?
Oh, like 5 stars. There was at least 10 instances of sex in it. Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? And if you want to read that, that's great. Hey, and we had sex in this one too. So.
Oh yes.
It wasn't like.
But it wasn't.
Ultra descriptive.
It wasn't like. Yeah, it wasn't super restrictive. Although I can't lie, I was surprised at.
Okay.
Well, I was and I wasn't.
Shall we move into the plot?
That's going into.
Let's move into the plot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the overall plot for everybody is that there is this guy who used to be an investigative journalist, and because of a fight with his new boss at the journal or at the newspaper, he got demoted to writing obituaries. And he gets thrown this obituary of this famous rock star, and he grows suspicious, and because of this, it leads him to this just a bunch of slew of events that ultimately culminate to this climax of him revealing and being able to successfully nail down the person who actually killed the star. So that's pretty much what happened. So Amanda, what did you think? What were some plot things that you liked? What were some things that you didn't like?
You know what? One of the things that are we just talking about plot, or are we also talking about character now?
Let's stick with plot first, and then I think those two. I think the characters in this one are really connected. Like there aren't that many characters.
Yeah, there aren't many.
Really.
I think the plot is kind of you kind of saw where it was going right from the beginning. Like it was pretty kind of evident by as soon as he interviewed somebody or his wife, it was kind of evident what was going to happen. It it wasn't a surprise at the end. And we said major spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't a surprise that the wife did it. It really wasn't. It was kind of laid out in the first couple of chapters. They're like, wife is jealous, wife wants money, blah, 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 blah. Kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. So it was, in some ways, it was kind of disappointing that he went through all those hoops and he had to talk to all those people and he got the crap kicked out of him. And in the end, the wife did it. Mm-hmm. So I think that was one of the few things I was disappointed. I did enjoy the ride though, with all the stuff I had done, and that I think one of my favorite plot scenes was when he went to visit one of the bandmates in the boat.
Oh yeah.
he's describing how there's beer cans and pizza, and he's just high off his entire mind. It was I think that was one of the few times I laughed out loud and just walked away. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, I think the character was Jay Burns.
Yeah, that was the one, Jay Burns.
The keyboardist.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
I know.
Yeah. No, you know what? I think this can be free for all you guys. Just
Yeah.
whatever. I think I do agree with you in a sense that I mean I think the whole story was just like he knew who it was. He just had to prove it
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
I think for me there were some like for example like crazy like out of nowhere like Deus Ex Machina kind of situation where like the sister decides to switch the burn tags.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind
Right?
of
And I was
funny.
like, what? Like, out of nowhere, she's just like, I just believe in reincarnation. And I mean, here's the thing. The thing is, like, he set up Janet as the
Yeah.
sister, as this kind of like, just out of nowhere, super, like, just believes in everything kind of, like, person. So for me, I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, you would totally do that.
Yeah.
You would totally agree with that. You would totally do it. But, like, it just caught me off guard because I was just like, well, I guess she'll get away. And I guess nothing will happen. What?
Yeah.
And that's where I actually put down the book. And I was like, all right, no, I need some time away. What just happened? Because that caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting the like, because in the story, Janet was like, I need to show you something. Meet me here, and then Jack and Emma were just like, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on? And she's like crying at this person's grave, and like both of the characters are like, oh, maybe like, oh yeah, right, like she was there at that old man's funeral. Maybe like she's
Yeah.
because her brother doesn't have an actual grave. She's just using this as like a proxy to mourn for him. And she's like,
Oh.
I did something really bad, guys. I did something really bad. And
She
it
said
turns out,
that, and I thought she was like, I killed this guy. That was actually my first thought. Was like, she killed him. She killed this old guy. Oh, you switched the tags.
No, you know what I thought? I thought she put the record in with him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was it. And I was like, oh, okay, right. She buried him with the. No, it was a completely different body.
yeah.
But I think that's part of like Hiaasen. I think it's part of how he of like that weird humor he has, like the fact that he has a dead and reptile in his freezer forever, and he almost kills somebody. He pokes out somebody's eye with a
Wait,
dead.
is it Colonel Tom?
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Like, who plans for that to happen in a book? Like, it's
Well, okay, here's the thing, is that as soon as we started reading, there's this whole description about Colonel Tom and how Colonel Tom came to be in the freezer, and I'm like, okay, this is like, we don't really need to know this. Why are we reading this? And then it came around, and I was like, okay, that's so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it says right at the very beginning, there's like acknowledgments, right? Like, and then, where is it? Yeah, so it says here, this is a work of fiction. All names and characters are either invented or used fictitiously. However, the frozen lizard episode is based loosely on the tragic true-life demise of a voracious savanna monitor named Claw, who now sleeps with the dove bars.
Oh, jeez.
Like, so, like, that lizard is
I did not read that.
Yeah, so when I read that, I was like, oh, cool. So, like, this is actually, like, a little bit of, like, truth. Like, this was him bringing in his life into it, which makes it even more funny, I think.
Yeah. Because you just think, you're like, okay, that's totally not believable, but it is.
You don't know what happens in somebody's freezer, I guess.
Well, and the fact that he's just like, I have no weapon, let me open my freezer, grab my frozen dead lizard, and just pummel this guy. Oh, it was hilarious. And it was really funny. It was like, up until that point, he didn't want to get rid of the body of this dead lizard, and then after he was done with it, and he wakes up, and he's like, there's blood everywhere. He's like, well, guess I need to get rid of him. And he just hucks him out the window.
Oh my god.
Like, oh, man. And I think what's really cool was that, like his relationship with this lizard was also shared with Juan, who was devastated when he found out that he got rid of the body.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. I don't. Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. I think you're right with the humor, because I think that's the only reason why I love the main character. I thought he was extremely witty, and I think because of that, it made the storyline more fun in the sense that I was just constantly rooting for him the entire time. I was just like, man, you're hilarious. Like, if you get into something really funny, I'm gonna read it and it's gonna be hilarious and it's gonna be so cool, right? And then because I liked him so much, I was like, there's that scene where Cleo Rio goes down on that guy, L'Oreal.
Oh.
On the balcony, and then he gets mad because the widow is cheating pretty much, and I was like, hey, I'm mad too. I'm pissed off that this girl is getting away with murder. I hope she gets nailed.
Yeah.
But I was just like, But yeah, I don't know. It's I gotta say I don't know if there's much to talk about when it comes to plot.
Well, there were the other two subplots too. There was this whole Emma through line, and then
Yes.
there was the newspaper and who was in charge of the press.
Hmm. And like he was also like there's also that thing where he was just really scared of death.
Yeah, I won't call that a plot point. I think that's one of the character's quirks, which was
Yeah.
kind of funny because I'm reading that I'm like that was the whole thing with him doing his research. I'm like this is kind of freakishly accurate. Like the fact that he knows all these people died at
Yeah.
that particular point in time. Yeah, that was kind of a weird little quirk.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't really gel with that quirk. I was like,
this is morbid.
It was a morbid.
and I get it. You're doing obituaries, whatever. You're focused on that, but it was too much for me. It's nice to have quirks, but for that, I don't know. I was kind of like, maybe not.
But it kind of made sense. Like the humor of it kind of made sense because he's drawing you into this morbidity, and then at the very end, his mom's like, "Oh yeah, I know your dad died because of an obituary." By the way, so congratulations, you made it. But it was strange the very beginning when the first time he had his little freak out. He's like, "I'm gonna die," and am I at that age? Am I gonna die now? I'm gonna die with this guy. So yeah.
And I mean, like I guess like like the three of us don't have that issue, so I think it's interesting to see how someone puts that like that type of neuroticism onto paper. Because like when I was reading, like for example, like he would just be like he'll be talking all of a sudden like in parentheses or something like that. He'll be like, you know, oh, so did this person, this person. I was like, oh, yeah, I could totally. If I was in this situation, I would totally see myself thinking about those things constantly. But I think it's not just it wasn't just the obituaries that he was writing. It was the fact that he was demoted to that point, right? Where he felt like his life was just completely shattered. He had nowhere left to go, and he didn't want to die like some nobody. Right? All these famous people died at this year, and I didn't want to die at that year. And I think he was extremely fascinated with when his father died.
Yeah.
That he really wanted to know that, which was very interesting because his father was never part of his life anyways.
Yeah.
But he made his presence there anyway, even though you never knew the dad anyway, and yet he was never really introduced. You kind of knew that he was always within the plot somewhere, because he always came back of like, is this when my dad died? Is this when my dad died? How come my mom won't tell me? So I don't know, like he kind of pushes that in there every once in a while.
I wonder too if his fascination or fixation on death had a lot to do with his dissatisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Yeah.
He wasn't happy with where he was at. He wasn't happy where his love life was at. He was just, everything wasn't really going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and like, I was rooting for him in being such an asshole to Emma, and then he sleeps with her.
I know!
Why? I like, once he did that, I was like, okay, guy, no respect anymore. You spent so many years trying to piss her off, and you just...
But wasn't he trying to piss her off so that he would get fired?
Yeah, because he didn't want to work there anymore, because he thought the new bosses were such dicks.
He wanted to save her from the devastation, which is, of the evil that is this newspaper. So he really wanted, like, he was like, the whole point was that he wanted to be like Jesus to her. He wanted to, like, like, sacrifice himself to tell her to get away from this job.
The eye roll there. But it happened so quickly. Like, I wasn't... Maybe it was that I wasn't paying attention, but I was kind of like, one page he's calling her like a giant cow, and he's trying to like rile her up, and the next page they're like, oh yeah, and now we're making out, and I'm like, what just happened? And all of a sudden now they're like this couple who just sleeps with each other apparently a lot.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the confusing parts. I'm like, what? But she hates him. And then all of a sudden she blushes every time he looks her way. Oh, and she's naked and having sex with him. Okay, that's a difference in plot, all right.
I was a little bit put off by the age difference.
Oh, yeah.
See, for me, I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, it's fine, age is fine. But my biggest thing was, he never described Jack. Like, Jack is a little bit tall, he's a little bit skinny, right? and he's a little bit haggard from the job, but you weren't like, you're like, okay, so like maybe he's just some average Joe, whatever, right? And then they have sex, like, well, apparently he's really hot because Emma's really hot. Like apparently he's just super hot, but like he just never talks about it.
Got that distinguished, disgruntled, like scruffy older.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so like is he some
the
like
way that he's presented is like you think of like I don't know about you guys, but when I read this, I thought of Jack as like this, I don't know, like middle-aged, like 40, 45-year-old man, like, you know, starting to gray, looking worn down because he doesn't like his job, unsatisfied with his life. And then enters Emma, who's like this kind of young, you know, 20-something girl. And then now they're in a relationship.
Yeah, because like, okay, when they first started and they were describing him, I was like, oh, he's like Steve Jobs. That's what I thought. Steve Jobs, right? Tall, right? Kind of graying, right? A little bit of like the bush, right? And then they have sex. I was like, oh, he's Tom Hiddleston now. He just like, you know, just like apparently he's really good looking. Like, oh, and like Emma was supposed to be with his hot friend Juan.
Yeah. That I didn't understand either. Did they just never?
I don't know. Okay, so in the story, in the story, they go over to Juan's place because Juan can like decode the hard drive, right?
Yeah, but they never had sex.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, Emma, just be careful. Juan might have a girl over. And I was like, wait, isn't Emma with Juan? Like, what's going on? What happened? And then like Juan's all embarrassed that like he had like has some like what's it, orthodontist or whatever, some type of doctor over. And she's like, yeah, I'm cool. I was like, how? Like, what, did you break up? When did you break up? What happened?
I wonder if they had sort of a companion relationship where they were just both lonely and they just kind of wanted to be together, but Juan seems the type of guy that just kind of just goes around and can't stay with one person too long.
Yeah. I think it was like one of those really casual relationships. Like I think in the book it might have even said like we never really said anything was official.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whatever. I guess I'll sleep with Jack. So it.
But here's the thing. The thing is, as a guy, I don't know about you, but as a guy, if let's say one of my best friends was interested in this girl, she would be completely, you know, no, I can't go near her, I can't touch her, she's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right? Or like Jack to be like, hey, I know that you're maybe seeing my best friend, but I want to bang you really bad right now. And then like for his friend Juan to come in and be like, oh, haha, I'm embarrassed that I caught you having sex with my ex whoever, but I'm not mad that you're having sex with her, even though you said that you're not interested and you just you feel like you think that she's the most annoying person in the world, but you're having sex now. We had a thing, but it's okay. I just need to talk to you about my book. Can we talk about my book?
And I'm even more angry that you got rid of Colonel Tom.
Yeah, like okay, all right, fine. So
I don't know. I found the characters like just. I just kind of I'm like whatever. This must be just how he writes because
I mean this is no Guy Gabriel Kay. This is no Miles Cameron, right?
No.
Like, the characters are not a certain way. Like these characters, I think, are literally just like they're a like Juan is the stereotypical jock, good-looking Cuban who does sports.
Yeah.
No.
I think I liked Carla Candilla the best.
Yeah.
She was my favorite. Whenever she was on screen or on book, whatever, I'd be like,
yeah.
I don't think Jack's like a 19-year-old, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, like, she's hilarious.
Because like every single time she comes with like a different color hair.
Yeah.
And she's always the one that does all the Snoopy stuff. That like she's the one that can like get into different places
She does
and
all
stuff.
the celebrities. Yeah. I was rereading the epilogue, and it's about the part where him and her go to the perfume department and smell all of the perfumes to find L'Oreal's perfume.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Timberlake, and they put it all over him. Like walk up to her at the bar. I'm just like, oh my god, this is so funny.
Yeah. I think let's just move into characters since I think we've already kind of transitioned there already. Yeah. I don't know. I have to say even like the antagonists I kind of enjoyed because I think they were just all cookie cutter characters.
Yeah.
Right? L'Oreal was like the, you know, the bro who was just there who needs Cleo Rio, but he just has no substance, right? And then you have like the henchman who's like this like, I'm a henchman. grrr, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
like Cleo Rio, who like I don't know, like I think for her, she was confusing to me because she started off like meh whatever, and then she became like maniacal, like she went from like I have no idea what I'm doing to like Cruella Deville.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So then I was like,
I can
okay,
see
all
that.
right, that's fine, I guess, and but like I was like okay, but even like all three of them kind of I think they just they were fun, they were funny.
They were funny. And I have to admit that I really hated Emma when we started the book. And mostly because I don't know if it's because I'm a girl or whatever, but I'm reading it, I'm like, why are you such a cow? You're just so mean. And you were like that girl that I tell to be quiet and sit down in the corner. And then later, I think I started liking her later. But in the beginning, I really disliked Emma, and I kind of more than anything else, I kind of felt really sorry for Jack in the
Yeah,
beginning. I'm like, you poor guy, you stood up for what you believed in, and you get shoved down to the obits and whatever.
yeah.
But it's true what you said about the antagonist. Like, I was surprised how much I liked the henchman. I wanted actually the henchman to come back and beat him up again because I thought it was just really funny that how they got into that scuffle into the kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. The thing is, like, did you not like her because Emma was just annoying, or did you not like her because Jack didn't like her at the very beginning
Well,
and
that's
slowly warmed up?
I kind of wonder about that. I found I think just because the initial presentation of her was like she's such a bitch. So I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, preparing myself for a giant bitch. And then I started reading her character. I'm like, wow, she's pretty like um aggressive, like, and not in a good way and all that kind of and all that. And then it could be that when Jack started, you know what? I actually still didn't like her when Jack started sleeping with her. I think I only started feeling sympathy for her when she got kidnapped. That was like the only time. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she's not so bad. I guess Jack is happy, and I like Jack, so I guess Jack should be happy.
Hmm. But I think it's like one of those classic situations, right, where you are presented with a character, you're just like, oh my god, you're so one-sided, you're so annoying.
Yeah,
And then after a while, you get more and more information about her.
yeah.
Slowly but surely, you reveal this, and you
Well,
get revealed that.
you kind of don't. That's the thing. It's like the only thing we really know about Emma that I can't even recall is that she's a young girl coming into newspaper business. She was thrown into this job.
Hmm. Well, there are two things. So, like, Karen, how is your connection?
I don't know. I keep coming in and out, but that's okay. We'll just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, but like for Emma, there's two things. Number one, she came in and she was promised that she would, bump up really quickly, and then the whole like takeover, like the takeover screwed that up. So there was someone who was outgoing, and then she got thrown into the position that she's in now,
Yeah,
and pretty much she's there because there's no way for her to move or leave.
yeah,
Number two, she also has the pressure because her father is like a world-class
yeah.
journalist,
That's true
right?
too.
So she has that pressure to be good,
Yeah.
to be good editor as well. So I think like once that was revealed, I was like, okay, I mean I get that. Also, the reason why I was viewing you in a certain way was because the main character was viewing you in a
Mm.
certain way, and then I was like, okay, I'm warming up. Here's the thing. The thing was like I think there's that part where when she gets kidnapped and Jack was like, you have Janet. I was like, no, you idiot. They have Emma. Like, really? You think it's Janet? No, it's Emma. Like, come on, oh my god. But I mean, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. I mean, it also sucks that the two henchmen died.
Well, yeah, but they died in such a stupid way.
Yeah.
Which was
Like, so,
the fact that they crashed the helicopter. Like, just it's just I don't know. In some ways at the very end of the book, it just kind of it was a lot of like the tying up of the loose ends, right?
mhm.
Like, what can we do to make sure that Jack and Emma are safe? Okay, we'll kill the bad guys in a random helicopter accident. How
Well,
are we gonna nail Cleo Rio? Oh, she switched the death tags. Like, it was kind of funny how he tied up these loose ends because they were again just so random. And yeah.
mhm. Yeah, because I mean, like the big, like, scruffy, like, the big, like, arm, like, I'm a henchman. Like
Yeah.
he gets his head cut off.
Yeah.
And then like L'Oreal, because of his long flowing hair, gets his like entire scalp ripped off. I was like, oh! And I was like, okay, you're gonna give us that much detail about that, but nothing on the sex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Priorities, guys.
I'm like,
Priorities.
oh, they did it, now they're done.
Yeah.
What did you think of the subplot about buying out the newspaper with Race Maggard or whatever?
My God.
Oh, I
The
love Polk.
third.
He was
I
so
love
funny.
Polk.
Oh no! I just
Loved him.
like I just love the fact that like even when he was doing obits,
Yeah.
there was no way, like I don't know, he was still like really testy, really just on top, like just
Yeah.
poignant every single time, just attacking him in a certain way, and it was so
Oh,
funny. It was hilarious.
I love that he was called up to Polk's hospital room, and he was like, "Here's the crap that you need to know," and I'm like, "Yes, yes."
I think Polk and Jack have a very similar personality. They're just
They
like
do. I think
straight
so, too.
shooters. They will call it as they see it, but also with
Yeah.
a little bit of dry humor.
Yeah.
I thought they were two peas in a pod. It was good. I liked that relationship.
Hmm.
I actually wondered in one of those like plot twisty things. I'm like, Polk could be Jack's dad because they're so similar.
Yeah. Well, no, and the funny thing was, it was just like Jax was like, why do you want me to write your obituary? It's like, because I know Race Maggot will be so pissed off.
Exactly.
So
And then
pissed off.
details. And like after I die, here are the other 10 reasons and 10 ways you can still piss off me.
It's great. That old man was amazing.
He was great. I was happy when the book said that he had like gone home. And I'm like, yes, does that mean he's gonna take it back? And then he died. And I was like, oh, damn it.
Well, I think that he was going to die. Like there was no way he was going to stay alive for the book, because I think like for this one, I mean like honestly, everything just had to be tied up at the end. So if he didn't die, there would be no tie up of what happened, and like there would be no revelation of exactly what was supposed to go on. Like we know that Jack was supposed to take care of the trust, but like as his death was becoming more and more like
Apparent.
reality, we found out more and more details about that, and how like really this old man is such an evil man, but the coolest person in the world.
I know.
I think I loved that subplot and followed it. It was just, I really liked it. But it is good that you see all of the arcs of this whole story. You could basically read this book as a one-off.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I love that this is a one-off.
Yeah, and I mean, the only other plot was what? I mean, I think that's it, right? There wasn't that many.
No, there wasn't anything that I was like overly disappointed in. It wasn't like I was sitting and being like, I don't understand. It was pretty nice to follow it through. I was impressed, I can't lie, of like when you first meet Janet and she seems like this very like quiet and like calm and like overwrought sister of this dead celebrity. She's like, oh yeah, so I take my clothes off on the internet. Today I'm a military girl, and then tomorrow I'm something else. And I'm like, wait, what? I just loved her character. I thought she was just so funny.
She was a nice breath of fresh air, just a little added in there, just those little bits. I liked the early 2000 references to all the tech.
Oh.
You're like, oh, we put this on like a little hard drive, and
Yeah, and it's encoded hard drive. Oh
That's
no.
totally. It's okay. She's just popping in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I forgot that I was in that time frame, but I didn't care.
Oh yeah.
Like I just didn't care because like the thing was flowing so fast. I was like, oh, they're talking about cassettes. What?
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like Pro Tools. What's Pro Tools? I was like, guys, why didn't you? Oh, right. It's not 2016 when this book was written. It was when Pro Tools was just coming on, like just making fun, like the little like jab at autotune that he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like with autotune, I can make even a cow sound like Madonna. I was like, oh, oh, it was amazing. It was really funny. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, no, I was really glad Janet was there, Carla. Those two characters, like that
Oh,
was like the
Carla.
yeah, like just like the little like just humor sections. Every single
Yeah.
time you got to
Oh.
meet with them.
And what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm so bad remembering characters. The Jack's ex-girlfriend's new husband.
Oh,
That guy. And then I
something
can't remember
something
his name.
Grenoble. Isn't it
Yeah,
Grenoble or something like
yeah, the
that?
guy who's like, and every time Jack read out like a chunk of this so-called book, I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny. Because it's just so stereotypical. It's like her breasts were riding on like a dolphin backs on like the sunset. And then they made love in the moonlight. And oh, it was just so great.
The best part was it Carla was saying, "Oh yeah, he wrote an ode
Oh, yeah.
for the wedding, and it took an hour and a half to read."
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find that name of that ode. I can't find it right now,
Oh,
you guys.
it's
So like what was really funny was it's just like she was just like he actually read it. He actually read it at the wedding. And then like
I'm trying to find that. Where is it? Yeah, I'm trying to find it too. But it's every so often at that very. I find that when it's just like it's getting a little bit maybe too serious, Carla comes in. She's like, "Oh, by the way, here's some more crap that this guy has done with my mom," and it's just garbage.
Everybody wants to hear about their ex having really different experiences with other people because you're like, oh, I would have been so much better for them.
Yeah, right. I want to try and find where they got married and read that excerpt of like that ode that he
oh
wrote for her.
guys, Ike, the old man.
Oh yes,
Oh, I loved Ike.
He was so
good.
cool. Like
And this is the thing with this book is that even though these characters are so minor, like they're in there just so quickly, they still make that impact. Whereas in a book like Bill Canto, like there are so many characters, and I'm like, I can't even care enough to remember who half these people are.
yeah,
Yeah.
But with
yeah,
these ones, like Ike was only in for what, like
2 scenes.
5 pages maybe
Yeah.
total. And it's like, oh yeah, that really nice guy that he met on the side of the road when he was calling Carla for or calling Cleo Rio for ransom. That
Yeah,
he was a nice guy.
yeah, that's good.
I loved the scene with Tito, how he got shot in the butt.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so doped up on drugs. He's like, they shot my fish, man. They
Yeah.
yeah. It was and it was I think it was so sad because like he's like yeah they like scooped them out of the aquarium and like shot them one at a time.
Who does that? Who does that?
Well, I mean those assholes apparently.
Those assholes, yeah.
No, like why would you do that? Like I mean like okay I get it if you're like like you shoot the aquarium and like and all the water comes out and they die. No, they scoop the fish out, throw it on the floor, and then try to shoot them on the floor. Oh man! Holy
I
Jesus!
can't lie, like what did you have in your head when L'Oreal came into like when his character was introduced? What did you picture?
I pictured a long-haired Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, I was thinking some sort of elven look, but
Yeah,
a little
like
easier.
That's kind of like what I was thinking. I was thinking like a skinnier, uglier version of Fabio with like the long flowing.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he had long hair to his tush, right?
Yeah, and I just remember thinking about I'm like for the first time you introduced I'm like L'Oreal. What kind of stupid ass name is L'Oreal?
Well, and then he makes fun of it. He's like, your boyfriend named himself after shampoo.
Which makes sense because of all of his hair.
Oh man, it's so good, you
I like
guys.
how he's sitting in the club with him, and L'Oreal's like trying to drop all these names of people that he's managed, but he's just butchering all their names. He just
Yeah.
Oh
he
yeah.
doesn't know what their names are, and Jack's purposely being like, wait, who? Oh yeah, them. They're super favorites. He's like, I didn't have the heart to tell him he's just an idiot.
Oh, so great. So great.
Oh,
There were
man.
very good scenes in this.
I think this is by far out of the 3 that we've read, this is probably the one I've liked the most.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I mentioned and like Karen mentioned, like this also was the one that had the least connection when it came to music.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is there. I just think it's written for even though that, but it's also written for an audience to connect with it a little bit, but not too deep.
Mhm.
Like with the other two books we've read, there was so much like under.
Yeah, because I
Thoughts.
feel like when it comes to connections, I feel like the Chimes was the most connected, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like it's obviously written for an audience that knows a lot of jargon and a lot of musical
So
terms.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, yeah.
And then whereas Bel Canto was very small. Like the only things that you were really confused about was the fact that she was soprano and she sang all these arias. You're like, oh, I don't know where this one's from,
Yeah.
right? And then there's this one. Like, I mean, yes, granted, half of these bands, I was like, I have no idea who these are, so I had to
Yeah.
look them up. But it was like, but a lot of people who grew up in that world, or even some of us, would have known half of these bands. Like we knew that it was Matchbox 20 and not Matchbox 30. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, stupid L'Oreal.
I love that Matchbox 30.
Right?
They had
Yeah.
a great duet with Santona.
So good. Oh man. But yeah. No, I'm glad I picked this. I'm really glad I found it.
Yeah,
There were
this
some
is
other
good.
ones, but I just wanted a book that was written like more recently. There's a lot of them that were written in like the early 90s
Yeah,
that I don't think we would have enjoyed as much.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And this one, I don't know, like I think like when I read like the summary, I already knew that it was going to be like hilarious. Like it was gonna be like dry and like just witty because I was like reading it. I was like, this is amazing. This
It was quite witty, actually. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested to read even more of this guy's work if it's gonna be like kind of like that witty banter kind of situation. Because I think if Jack was anything but the character that he was, I wouldn't have liked it as much. But because he was so like at the very beginning, he was so like pessimistic, but like like angry, sarcastic, pessimistic.
Yeah.
Like I got drawn into that world. I was like, yeah, I like you. You have a shitty job. Of course you're gonna be a shitty person. Of course you're not gonna care about anything. Of course you're gonna throw your TV through the window.
Oh
Of
my
course you're
God.
gonna do that. Of course you're gonna do it. You hate your job. You got screwed over.
I would do that too if I could.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you go do that.
I think also like with Jack and actually with all the characters in this, they're real characters, right? They're actually, you can see that guy that hates his job, that looks haggard after a day at the office, and you can see like the crazy vindictive wife, and you can see like the like the nutso 19-year-old always changing her hair. Like they feel realistic in many ways. Like even the Janet with her little sex whatever online thing, they're more realistic than some of the other characters we've seen in other books.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
they're more accessibly modern.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I mean, like, even though Belcanto was modern, these people were like, delegates, right?
Yeah.
Like, CEOs of companies, like, big important people that we just wouldn't understand as normal. But like I could be Jack in 20 years, you know?
Could be Janet.
Thanks, Nanda.
Because like it just I totally agree with you guys. It was just characters that were accessible, and maybe even characters that we could have been like, yeah, I can see this person being this guy, or I can see this person being like, there was I mean maybe characters I didn't like as much, but no characters I disliked at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like every character had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for them always to be there. Like even like the really really annoying stepfather who was racist had a reason. Right?
But he was like amusingly racist.
Yeah. He was. Because I think he was just poking fun at like there was that mild racism at the time, and there still is right now.
Yeah.
Right? And and the guy, like, the only reason why he was racist was like, oh my god, could you just leave golf alone? Just leave us golf players, like leave the white people to golf. Just don't take that away from it. Don't take it away from it.
Give us the old white man sport.
Right? And then that really annoying like ex-girlfriend's future husband who's like, was he a crime novelist?
No, he was a romance novelist.
Oh, or something like that. which
He was a novelist of some form.
he was hilarious. Like yeah, and then like those, like even those characters, I was like, oh my god, but like it just, I like it wouldn't have made any sense. Like for example, like for him to even talk to Anne, if it was just about the relationship, like
Yeah.
just a past relationship, like he just added value to that. I mean, like Carla definitely added value to the Anne relationship, but I think Carla was very separate from Anne. Like whereas Carla really didn't want to talk about mom, Anne had this like Anne was like represented this past that he had, and now she has this future that's just like he's just like, oh my god, really? He's a novelist?
They went on vacation together? What?
Yeah. You're getting married on my birthday?
What?
Yeah,
He wrote an hour and a half old? What?
It was only 30 minutes, you guys. It wasn't an hour and a half. It was only 30 minutes.
it probably felt like an hour and a half for the guests.
Oh god. I'm sorry, if that happened at my wedding, I would just annul it right then and there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Evan, like the intern, I feel really bad.
Oh, that poor guy had to go through so much crap.
Yeah. But he's like, oh my god, Cleo Rio like touched her boob. I got to touch her
You
boob.
pressed your boob on me.
And I was like, how old are you, man?
He must be like, I don't know, 21.
Oh, so funny. Sorry, I'm still like trying to look up like those like quotes that Carla read.
I know, they're like, but they're so buried, like they're so buried deep in the book, and it's just, they're just so random, right? Like he just kind of visits Carla whenever.
Hmm. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so here you go. I got it. So it's on page 287 to 288. So she's just like,
really?
Derek. Sorry, his name is Derek.
Oh, okay.
Derek really did it. Ode to a brown-eyed goddess.
Oh, yeah. It took me half an hour to read.
Yeah. And meantime, I had to pee like a racehorse. I wrote down a couple lines just because I knew you could use a laugh. And then the line is like, dig this. My heart melts anew each time your brown eyes light on me. Passion sings in my breast like the soaring sparrow's harmony. And I was like, ouch.
Ow. I would just right out. Right out.
I mean, and that's why we like Carla, right? She's hilarious. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if we went to a wedding and that happened, we would probably tell each other this too.
Yes, we would. Yes, we would.
Oh, it's so good. She's amazing.
There's still time. We're still young. It could still happen.
Oh, hey Amanda, at your wedding, we'll bring in an ode. It'll be like an ode to Amanda Chin.
And then I'm just gonna kick you guys right out. It'll be great.
And what we'll do is like each stanza is like a stanza, like a brief like summary of each book that we've read. Until now.
I wrote this in octet form.
Oh man. No. He writes in iambic pentameter.
Pentameter, yeah. Pentameter.
Oh, so good, guys. Well, I mean, I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a really fun read.
I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, to be honest. I'm usually pretty, like every time I even buy a book, I'm usually sometimes kind of skeptical about how much I like it.
Yeah.
Especially ones that, no offense, but like stuff that I don't pick off for myself. Just because I know sometimes I have a very peculiar taste in books. So I'm actually really happy that I ended up really liking this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to buy some more from this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else we need to really go over anymore, right?
No. There's not much to really complain about, so there's not much.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the only complaint that we had was just that, like, it was, like, the plot was very, very easy to tell where it was going. I think there was only little minor bumps here and there, right? So, like, the plot was, like, very straightforward. We knew the outcome of the plot. We just had no idea how he was going to wrap up everything, but it was nice that there were no loose ends. Like, he tied everything up.
Yeah,
and it was fun. Like I said, it was just a light read. It's no crazy, like, AAA book of some sort, but it was. I still found it very, very fun to read, and I don't know. I feel like I want Like, I want a friend like Jack. You
I
know?
do. I want a friend like Carla.
Yeah, be hilarious. Okay, so next time I think Amanda is your pick next,
Yes.
and you still need a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, I haven't chosen one. I have one in my mind that I'll be honest, I've read before, but I would like to read again.
Okay. Well, you
And,
know what? What you can do is like just post on the Facebook page whenever you find out what you want to read, and like just
okay.
find a pick and stuff, and then we'll read that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's good. Like
So
I
is
said, I
our
mean,
next book club in December?
no, November.
No.
November. Okay.
Yeah, November.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be that mean. December is like the worst time to meet. Like we're all three of us are gonna be so busy.
Oh, concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's November. And I believe it'll be like if we can, like, obviously last Wednesday of November again. And I'm just pulling up my calendar right now to see what that is.
Okay.
That'll be the 30th
Uh,
of November. The 30th.
Alright.
I could probably, well, yeah, I could probably do that.
Okay. And if not, we
October.
can do the like 23rd. I mean, it really honestly depends on what you pick and if it's super long or something like that.
The book that I have in mind isn't. I don't think it's that long.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. But just let us know whenever. And yeah, well, thanks you guys for meeting again. It was fun. Yeah,
Thanks, Pooh.
yeah. So we'll meet again in 3 months with Amanda's pick, and we'll announce that on Facebook whenever we find out. So have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.